What if tonight you'll get that the standard American diet is, well, sad? What if tonight you get that it's so sad that it's literally killing you, all of us, and destroying the planet? And what if you got that the solution, in a way that you can add 10 to 15 more enjoyable years to your life, and at the same time do the best thing you can to preserve the planet? It was that week of my 34th birthday. I got the flu, but it wasn't any ordinary flu. This flu never went away. You know that day, like when you can first get up when you have the flu, but you feel really lousy, but you can kind of move, but if you do too much, you're back in bed? That's where I was for 27 years. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't work out anymore. I couldn't even go for a bike ride. I ended up going bankrupt. I lost 3 rental houses, and my wife left me. Well, at least it wasn't all bad. But you know, the last thing she said to me was, David, I don't want somebody who's sick. And like Patricia Fripp says, last words linger. And it really did. But wait, there's more. That was in 1990. In 2004, I ended up with another autoimmune disease, interstitial cystitis. It's a messed up urinary tract. It felt like somebody scraped the inside of my bladder lining with a razor blade. I don't know what childbirth is like, but it hurt so bad. Once the urine would get into where it's inflamed, if somebody had $5,000 cash, and I kid you not, and they said, if you wait 5 minutes, even 2 minutes before you go, I'll give you that cash, I wouldn't take the money. And for a while, it was happening on a daily basis. I tried everything under the sun to get better for all those 27 years. I had so many B12 shots, I still have sympathy pain. I went to Chinese doctors, American doctors, integrative doctors, and the joke is, which doctors? I went to Reiki masters, all kinds of healers. I went to 4 urologists, and I wasn't thinking about saving the cards, but these are just some of the cards of the people I went to. And nothing helped. I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't get better. I went bankrupt for the second time and lost another 4 rental houses. And I did manage to get a girlfriend, and she left me. It wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. I couldn't get better. Now, you might be thinking, though, that's all good, and I'm sorry, David, that happened to you, but I don't have fatigue, and I don't have a messed up urinary tract. But you might want to know, be interested, that according to the American Diabetes Association, 1 out of every 3 of us has diabetes or prediabetes. And 250,000 people, Americans, a year die of diabetes or diabetes-related diseases. Another 150,000 Americans die of Alzheimer's. And the American Heart Association estimates that 850,000 Americans die each and every year. Every 37 seconds, an American has a heart attack. In fact, just in this last year, 2 of my good friends have had quadruple heart surgery. And you want to know what's remarkable about that? That, and that I have 2 friends. But what else is remarkable is that 150 years ago, diabetes was 1 in every 10,000 people. Today, it's 1 out of 10. In 1940, Alzheimer's almost didn't exist. Another thing that's remarkable is the Center for Disease Control. Their stats show that 20.6% of our young people, ages 12 to 19, are obese. That's 20% over their ideal weight. So I thought I'd do some research. Anybody like to do research? So I did my own study. So I got my yearbook out. Glendora High, 1974. Approximately 2,000 kids, probably a little over in the school. So if anybody's good at math, what would be 20% of 2,000? 400. So there should be 400 obese kids in this school in 1974. Guess how many I found? Good guess. 0. The heavyweight on the wrestling team, but he's just a big kid. So then I thought I'd look at the faculty, staff, and teachers. Guess how many I found? Probably, what, 100 people, 150? 1. 1974. And I'll explain to you why in a bit. So why did I get sick, and why does anybody get sick? I don't know if anyone's heard of the China study, T. Colin Campbell and his son Thomas. The most extensive research ever done on diet. Literally hundreds of thousands of people were surveyed, tested in China. And the gist of the whole book, which is like 500 pages, is that the people in the rural China who were poor, couldn't afford meat, sugary things, and were much, much healthier than the people in the cities. So much so, I mean, it's just the way it is. A Japanese woman is 60 times less likely to have breast cancer than an American woman. But if she moves to America and starts eating the American diet, it's the same. In Norway, during World War II, when the Germans took all the cows, their health rates improved dramatically. When the war was over, they got their cows back. Not so good. So there is a little bit of genetics, but as the Japanese women show, not so much. It's really diet. So I don't know why I got sick. Because I adhered to the 3 main food groups. Mac and cheese, In-N-Out, and Ben & Jerry's. Exclusively. So let's break that down. Mac and cheese. Let's just call that dairy. Well, we are the only species on the planet that drinks the milk of another species. And we're the only one that does that into adulthood. Campbell actually would prove that it causes cancer, a carcinogen. Really, really bad for it. And then what we do is we siphon off all the fat, and then we make this delicacy called cheese. It's horrible for you. You know, I want to ask, like, I know it tastes good, but would you eat rat poison if it tasted good? The cheese just takes longer. So that's really sad. So let's talk about In-N-Out, animal products. It's really sad for 3 reasons. One, I think we can all agree no matter what, it's really sad for the animals. We killed, destroyed, murder, we call it slaughter. Get this, Americans in 1 year, at least 10 billion animals. I saw a program the other day that said 17 billion every year. The average American is responsible for the death of 7,000 animals in their lifetime. And you know what? A pig is smarter than your dog or cat. It's not good for the animal. It's sad. And it's not good for the environment. The cows cause more with the methane. It's so strong than all of the transportation industry combined. We were driving home from Fresno and got out to go to the restroom, and I couldn't even breathe when we were going from Berkeley, you know, around Fresno. Just disgusting. Yeah. It's poison. Yeah. So we're destroying the planet. We're killing the rainforest. We're cutting it. I saw one thing that was every 7 seconds we lose an acre. That's the lungs, the air that we breathe. And their excrements it's just disgusting. 10 billion a year, just destroying our rivers and our lakes and our streams and our land. 70% of the land we use to grow crops is to grow crops for the animals. And then we eat that. They're lousy middlemen. To get 4 grams of protein from the animal has to eat 100 grams of protein from the plant. And plants have every bit as much protein as an animal does. Pretty close. So it's not good for the environment. And it's not good for us. Our teeth, our intestines, our digestive juices, our eyesight, we see colors so we can see bright vegetables and fruit. Are all that of an herbivore, not a carnivore. Again, it's been proven over and over again, it causes heart disease, it causes diabetes, it causes many things. I'm going to give you a sheet of that, everything that it has. It's really, really sad. And then the crops that we use, that we could just use to feed ourselves, they're full of fungicides, pesticides, and herbicides. The animal's full of growth hormones, steroids, and antibiotics. And then they make GMOs, and they're not, the good Lord did not intend them to eat soybean or corn. And that's full of GMOs, all kinds of things to make them grow faster, bigger, and so we can eat them quicker and they can make more money. So it's really, really sad that we're even eating this. It's killing us. We're just literally destroying the planet. And if you don't think so, ask somebody that's in Australia. Lastly would be Ben & Jerry's, sugar. I also have a list there of why sugar's not good for you. So I went to the store and I bought a typical days for an American food that they would eat. And this is, I'm going to show you portions. These are all portions. It's not like you're going to eat the whole thing of ketchup. Now, the average human being, according to the FDA, can tolerate, not that they need, but they can tolerate 9 teaspoons of sugar. Just so you know, 4 grams is 1 teaspoon, and a woman 6. So right here in this example, can anybody guess how many teaspoons of sugar are in this breakfast, lunch, snack, and dinner?
Tolerate at one time or one
Tolerate per day.
Per day.
Per day, 9 grams.
480.
Teaspoons? That would be the whole thing. That's a little high. I'll tell you, I've worked it out, 64. This is about 64 teaspoons right here for a day. This is about what you would eat in a week.
Oh, sugar?
Sugar. Which is like, it's just literally poison. Literally poison. Now the deal is, since 1974, we've added all the processed foods, the lazy foods. And the thing is, if I want to sell more, even a so-called health drink, Gatorade, then your sugar, what am I going to do to sell more? I'm going to add sugar. So let's just say we round it up to 10, round that down to 20. Even if you're just having 10 grams of sugar extra a day that your liver can't figure out what to do with, it's going to go to your pancreas, and your pancreas is going to create insulin, and you're either going to have liver disease and die, or insulin's job is to store it in fat cells. And it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when you're going to have diabetes or whatever. Congratulations, we're going to outlive our kids, the first generation that's going to die before we do. Yes, sir.
Is there sugar in chocolate? Because I was eating chocolate there.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say, I have no sugary drink there and no dessert, and it's still 64 teaspoons. But yeah, there's sugar in chocolate. I mean, there's healthy chocolate, but there's that. Okay, so that's really sad. So how do you get better? What do you do? What did I do? So after 27 years in going to doctors, I gave up. And I was able to function a little bit, and so I was able to go to a spiritual center called Agape, the Agape International Spiritual Center, Reverend Michael Beckwith. And there's a woman there, and she's a healer. And she's about this tall, Korean lady, wears all white every time. Never seen her sit down since I've ever been there, and I've seen her for years. Never. Sometimes I'll see her in the corner, like doing some kind of healing. And she walked up to me one time, looked me right in the eye, and I wasn't limping or anything. And she goes, David, I know something's going on down there. So at first, I thought maybe my zipper was down. And I said, what do you mean? And she goes, David, I know you've got some irritation, some inflammation. You've had a long-term problem. Well, she got my attention. And I said, yeah, I'm listening. She said, David, why don't you find 2 or 3 foods you should eat and 2 or 3 you shouldn't? Well, that was good advice. And I was working on that. And I'd actually kind of tried that before, but she had my attention. Then a couple months later, she said, David, why don't you get a nutritionist? Yeah, okay. Any specific kind? And she said, yeah, one that'll teach you to eat a whole food plant-based diet. And I go, yes! And I go, Suni, what's a whole food plant-based diet? And she said, well, whole food. Eat food that God made, not that man made. If you notice something in common, everything there is man-made. It's all what we call processed. Okay, that's whole food. Now, plant-based, Suni, you mean I have to eat salads the rest of my life? She said, no, David. You can eat anything you want. You just substitute that dish with a plant-based rather than animal-based. I go, anything? Yes, anything. Wow. So then I found a nutritionist, and her name's Tatiana. And there's a picture of her here on her card, and it's the last card because it's the last healer I ever needed. So I met with her. We talked every other Friday for about 3 months. And I told her, she knew Suni, she's from Agape, Tatiana. And check this out. This is one of the cookbooks that she recommended. It's called Comfort Food, Comfort Vegan Classics. So I mean, it's like really good food. It's unbelievable. You can eat anything. I mean, it's just anything. I mean, eggplant parmesan. I mean, look at the fries. It's just crazy. And Maureen and I eat like a king and queen.
Thank you.
I just bought this today. Forks over knives. Look at that dish. It has meatballs. You know, you can have meatloaf that just make it out of lentils. You can make the meatballs.
The pictures.
Yeah, there's just pictures I mean, oh my gosh, it's just incredible. Incredible.
Where'd you get that?
I got this at Vaughn's. And so I have several. I made a list here of all of the dishes that I've made. I wasn't making a lot, but when she decided she liked me, I started making dishes. I made 49 different dishes in the last 3 years. Ooh. And I can leave that, you can look at it.
Delicious.
And I have this picture of us here, and this was actually also my birthday 3 years ago. Because once Marian started eating our food, she had her blood work done just 3 weeks after she started eating that food. It was time for her annual physical. Every single aspect of her blood work improved. Triglycerides, the cholesterol, everything improved. And then she did it the next year. You know, she does it every year. And it improved that much more. It's amazing. And if it wasn't enough, just today, at 9:35 this morning, I got an email from a guy that I've been talking to, Locke. And he said, I watched the movie The Game Changers, and I'm going to give you a list of 25 movies to choose from. And it's about ultra athletes that are on a plant-based diet and how they excel. In fact, to tell you the truth, I just thought of this today, Victor. I do really well at the full body workouts, you know, and I just realized I'm better than most people, and I'm probably the oldest one there. And it's because my diet. Because like a lot of times these guys are giving up, and I can do most anything. Anyway, I watched the movie The Game Changers, and now I'm dedicated to eating less meat. The change is instant. More stamina, more energy, no sleepiness after lunch, everything. I'm recommending vegan to everyone. Thanks, David. I think you have changed my life. No kidding, it came just today.
And that's from Oprah? Okay, I was thinking that was a bad joke.
Oh, Oprah? Okay,
Yeah,
so,
that was from Oprah.
so I'm going to close with this. And this was kind of what my life was like when I was eating. You know, I'm eating the mac and cheese. It's kind of polluting my body, my immune system. So I'm eating In-N-Out. Oh man, I ate a lot of In-N-Out. A lot of In-N-Out. And then, you know, I like cheese, you know, and I ate Ben & Jerry's. Pretty much polluted my body. And I'm going to leave that there a minute because there's just one more thing I wanted to show you. Coca-Cola. We love Coke, our Coke, right?
Not me.
Guess how many teaspoons of sugar in this Coke? Now it is, to give you you know, to be fair, it's 42 ounces. But check this out. 34 teaspoons in one Coke. And most we can tolerate in a day is 10. But we like our coffee, our frappuccinos and stuff. So here we have a frappuccino, and it's 11 and a half. There's just absolutely, we know exactly why there's no overweight kids in 1974, and there are now. So, I got a polluted body. So, what all did I do? Well, Tatiana had me eat a whole food plant-based diet. She had me cut out the sugar. She had me make sure I did yoga. She walked me through a detox that wasn't really fun, but I did it. So this is how I did it. If you choose to, you could eat a little bit more Locke. His name's Locke. A little more plant-based. You could do a little more exercise. You could cut down the sugar. You could exercise a little more. Do a little bit of a detox. And as you do that, you can start getting rid of the toxins, all of the crap that's in your body, all the things you've been building up over years and years and years and years. And as you do it, I didn't heal overnight, but I got better and better. And now I went to Europe and never thought I'd ever be able to get on an airplane. I can go to any movie I want, anytime I want. I never even think about having to go to the bathroom. And that way, you can heal from literally anything and add 10 to 15 more enjoyable years to your life and save the planet at the same time.
Wow.
Woo!
Mr. David Klein, Lovett. Outstanding, sir.